Everyone on Instagram, we're going to be going live. Okay, good evening, everyone. It's Dr.SHIVA. Let me just start with our opening logo. Here we go. And today we're going to be discussing the second international conference on vaccine safety and immune health. It's coming up shortly. Good afternoon, everyone. It's Dr. Shiva Ayyadurai. Some of you may know 3 years ago, around this time, around the winter time, we held the first international conference on vaccine safety and immune health. That was in November or December of 2019, way ahead of we predicted what was going to happen with this quote unquote pandemic. We gave people tools. We discussed with people what the immune system really was, and we armed people with knowledge long before the hell broke loose. And then many years before the opportunists came along and then started talking about how much they were concerned about this, but none of these quote unquote experts said anything at the right time. And the reason I'm bringing this up is one of the important things that we teach at Truth, Freedom, Health is that it's very, very important not to only share the truth, but that's only half of it, but it's important to share the truth at the right time, okay? So it's very important to share the truth at the right time, not when it's opportunistic to do that. Okay, so this is really, really important. You'll find out after all the hell broke loose after the pandemic, it was later in late, mid or 2021, 2020, 2022, you had all these quote unquote scientists and doctors who were part of the establishment who knew that they were caught and wanted to have some credibility. Then they opposed what was going on, but they really didn't say anything at the time. So it's easy to come afterwards and talk a bunch of stuff, but it's really much more, you show leadership and you show courage when you do things and you lead people when it's not so in vogue or fashionable to do that. So that's what our movement has always done. And I encourage all of you to go to truthfreedomhealth.com to find more about what we're about. One of our organizations that we support, and it was one of the organizations I founded many, many years ago, is a research and education center. And that center really does research on systems thinking, and that's the International Center for Integrative Systems. And I'll give you, if you want to go to integrativesystems.org, you can find more about the International Center for Integrative Systems. Let me just take you over there. And you can go to the website, integrativesystems.org. It's right here. And what you'll find is this center, I started it out of MIT, but it's really about educating people on the power of systems thinking. It does a lot of different research projects. It did some of the earliest research projects on exposing, from a scientific standpoint, at a systems level, all the assumptions and failed safety stuff. And we went down to the molecular systems level to show what happens with genetically modified organisms. And we really exposed the fake science that Monsanto was doing. Again, this was back in 2012, 2013, okay? Way ahead of the curve. When the vaccine situation or the pandemic took place, we really felt that people needed to get educated on what is the immune system? What are vaccines? How do you assess risk? How do we actually frame a model that would give everyday people tools? And that was back in 2019. We have close to about 1,000 people attend. People are able to attend live and virtual. And then you guys know was our movement, Truth, Freedom, and Health, were really educated people. But it was the International Center for Integrated Systems, which held the first vaccine safety immune health conference back in late 2019. So given everything that's occurred, we think now it's again important to lead again. We're holding the second international conference on vaccine safety and immune health. Let me just bring it up and just bring everyone up to date. So that's the slide on it. And we're going to talk about this. And anyone who wants to know more about broadly what we do, you can go to vashiva.com. You'll know that what we're doing is educating people and arming people on why they need to take an approach that integrates truth, freedom, and health. Okay? We have to fight for freedom. We have to fight for science so we can get to truth. And we have to fight for our health, infrastructure health, personal health, etc. And I'll play you a video before this is over. But what I want to also emphasize is every Thursdays at 11 a.m. or 8 p.m., anyone here can attend our orientations, and I recommend all of you come. Okay? And you can go to vashiva.com/orientation. But what I want to talk about right now is a conference is coming up this Saturday, October 29th, 2022. So again, it's mark it on your calendar. If you have your iPhone, if your Android, whatever you have, it's this Saturday. Okay? Someone said I should be heard in front of the CDC. Well, the CDC knows our work. They know that the work that they're doing is flawed. It's reductionist. And what we are not going to do is we're not going to wait for the CDC or the government. We want to educate people directly. We want all of you to invite your doctors, invite your healthcare professionals, because many of the healthcare professionals themselves are being misled because many of them never learned the immune system in school. So what I want to walk through today is I'm going to give you an overview of the event. You're going to see it's a 4-hour event. You can come live into Cambridge. I know some people are flying in from all over the world into Cambridge. Again, it's on October 29th. It's on October 29th, 2022. Okay. And that's this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. You can come in, so it's in person or virtual. So you can do it either way. Okay. In person or virtual. So we want to invite people to come, whichever is valuable for them. Okay. Someone's asking, have you done any videos on vaccine industry, specifically how to help them? We've done many, many videos, but from a systems approach, educating people, it's really about inflammation, et cetera. Now, one of the things you will learn at this conference is that, and we've done many, many videos on this for years, is that it is not some virus or bacteria which comes and kills you. It is the overreaction of your immune system, okay? It's a very fundamental concept, which most people don't even know. So, but let me go over to what we're going to be discussing at the event. Again, it's a second international conference on vaccine safety and immune health. So what you can do is we're going to do an introduction. Obviously, there'll be by the way, at this event, there's going to be scientists like myself and others who take a systems approach. There's going to be medical doctors, nurses, community healthcare workers, educators. It's going to be a whole range of people. So you're going to learn from everyday people like yourself. But first, we're going to discuss how we got here, a historical overview. So in this historical overview at the conference, we're going to go back to 2019, and we're going to march our way through 2019, 2020, 2022, and where we are right now. Okay, 2021, 2022. So how we got here, a historical overview. So we're going to, again, you'll see through this process, it was the work of the center back in 2019, the work of our movement, which really led people. We were way ahead, okay? And this is an opportunity for people not to be left behind, because we're entering a new phase of this quote unquote science, okay? But first of all, we're going to do a historical overview. Second thing we're going to do is we're going to really give people what is vaccine safety. And one of the powerful ways we're going to do is we're going to give an engineering systems approach. So all of you are going to get armed with the knowledge on how you look at, if you're going to look at the safety of a vaccine, how should you actually look at it? So you get armed with asking these other experts who are really don't take a systems approach, how to really even look at vaccine safety, but we're going to look at it from an engineering systems approach. So you're going to get a framework, a perspective on how you even, if you were going to do safety of vaccines, how you should do it. Now, we know that through Operation Warp Speed, that there wasn't really any safety testing done. And the whole model was one size fits all, but you're going to get an engineering systems approach to really understand this, okay? How do you actually calculate, and how can you actually understand risk, okay? The next thing we're going to do is you're going to learn the modern science of the immune system, okay? And this is really important, and this is where I encourage all of you to invite your doctors, invite other nurses, invite healthcare professionals. They're going to learn more in this session from the center than they're going to learn from even their medical school courses, because they're going to really learn the modern science of the immune system. And they're going to learn that the science that they learned in medical school was a model of that goes back to 1915. So many of these doctors don't even know the immune system. Okay. So that's the next thing. All right. But again, most importantly, we're going to arm you. So you're going to get a detailed understanding of the immune system. You'll get it from the molecular systems perspective, from the large scale systems perspective, and in a very, very modular way. And then we're going to have some MDs, some community health workers, nurse, and you're going to really understand when it comes to immune health, what are the psychological and epigenetic factors, which means that immune health is not like it's just affected because, you didn't wear a mask, that there are psychological factors that can affect your immune system, like, being lonely, right? Epigenetic factors like diabetes and obesity, but you're going to learn that the community health factors, okay? So we're going to have a community health worker who works on the ground go through those psychological and epigenetic factors. Again, you'll be armed with that knowledge. Then we're going to look at, what are the nutraceuticals, the supplements, foods that boost the immune system, and what are the pharmaceutical guys say, and the side effects many of those medicines have. And so we're going to discuss both from an Eastern and Western perspective there. And then we're going to give summarize this by essentially informing people you actually have a choice, that you can take the choice of just following the existing government standards, or you can take the choice of becoming your own guru, taking control of your life and really understanding the body as a system and what you can do for yourself. So that will be, and these are going to be done by medical professionals and healthcare professionals. All right. And then this is going to be a very important point, because since we did the conference back in 2019, there's been a lot of new research which has supported what we said back in 2019, which was one size fits all medicine is nonsense. Telling everyone to get the same medicine or the same intervention doesn't work. So we're going to be sharing with you between 2020 and now the range of research that's taken place, which is going to show essentially some of the documented scientific injuries that have taken place when you take a one-size-fits-all approach. So that's going to be a very, very important session. It's going to really update you on the latest research, just from the science that's been done up to date. And then finally, we're going to do an economic section. We're going to have an entrepreneur, someone who actually has to balance a checkbook and all those kind of things, really share the analysis of the economic winners and losers of the quote-unquote pandemic, right? A lot of people don't understand there's some serious economics here. There are people who made a lot of money over the last 2 years, and there's a set of people who lost a lot of money. But you need to understand the economics. So when you look at this agenda, where people are going to learn engineering science, they're going to learn immunology, they're going to learn medical science, psychological, nutraceutical, right? All those factors that you have choice. And then we're going to learn deeper science on what is the current research on vaccine safety, in terms of all those things that have been discovered. And I call it pandanomics, okay? And we're really going to understand the economics of pandemics, who won, who lost, all right? So that's going to arm you even more, okay? And then finally, we don't want to leave this with educating on what you can do for the future of vaccine safety and human health, right? This means what you can do in your educating others, what you can do for your own health. So you're going to leave away some practical tools, again, updating what we did back in 2020. So that's what we're going to be talking about. So if there's any questions, I can take them. If there's any other questions on the agenda. But the key thing is, you guys know when you take a systems approach, what emerges out of that is to educate, educate, educate. We educated people in 2019. I wish more people had listened to us. Yes, someone said, yes, that's what I've called it. And you heard it here first, pandanomic, okay? Economy of the pandemic. We always come up with new stuff and everyone plagiarizes our stuff, but they never get to the depth of what we do. It's just a fact. We're always first movers, as many of you know. Not to be arrogant, but it's just the way it is, because when you take a systems approach, you understand this. Anyway, let me come right back, but I want to, I can't overemphasize. Oh, by the way, how do you attend the event? Well, two ways you can go to the event. One is, by the way, you can go to the event in person, or you can come online. Okay, well, how do you get the tickets? Well, the way you get the tickets, let me just show you. So one way you can get the tickets, let me share my screen here, is you can literally go here. You can go right to the page, right to the home page. Oops, am I here? Sorry about this. Let me just go right to the screen to share here. Too many windows here. Okay. You can go right to vashiva.com, right to the homepage right here, vashiva.com, right over here, as you can see it. Okay. vashiva.com. And then if you scroll down, you will see that right on the front page, it has a featured event. And then you just click there and it takes you right to the shop. We're charging a nominal amount, $25 for everyone to attend. And by the way, all of the proceeds, as we talk about, oops, let me actually, I think I want to share this entire window. Let me do that. Let me share this entire window so everyone can see that. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so if you again, go to vashiva.com and you scroll down, and then you see the featured event. If you click on that, that'll take you right to the shop, and you can check out and you can buy a ticket. By the way, all proceeds go to support the research at the International Center for Integrative Systems. And as I mentioned to you, it was this research center that did the original research on exposing GMOs. It was this research center that ran the mass conference 2 years ago, right? We showed the flaws in the mass thinking. It was this research center that did the analysis of the election systems and so on. Our research center is always led. So anyway, you can go right there, or the other place you can go is you can go literally to vashiva.com. Let me go right here, and you can go right, there's a link right here called the shop. And if you click on the shop, it's a little bit more indirect, but nonetheless, you can just click on shop. And when you go to shop, you will see that there are different categories, and one of them is for tickets. And if you click on the tickets, you'll see right on the left is the second international conference, and you can get it there. So a couple ways to do it. Someone says, can I jump in? Can I jump in at 11? Sure, you can. And by the way, all the events will be videotaped. And if those people who are warriors, Truth, Freedom, and Health warriors, is one of the benefits of being a warrior, you can go look at the recorded event later on, okay? So I encourage you guys to also become warriors. It's a good capability for you guys to have. Someone says, happy Diwali. Yes, thanks, Shreya. Today's Diwali in the Indian day. It's like Christmas. It's a day, good overcame evil. All right, let me just play a quick video, and I'll be right back because I got to make a couple of other announcements. So again, those of you interested in becoming Truth, Freedom, and Health warriors and becoming part of the larger movement, you may just want to, you'll get encouraged by this video. We have allowed our country to be taken over from within, and the end goal is you will have a homogenized world where we will become slaves, because there is a condition among the elites that really thinks they're better than you, deep down inside them, that you don't deserve the freedoms you have. They don't. This reality is what people need to wake up to, and we need to all unite working people. There's only one movement that can do that, and that is the movement that we started creating here in Massachusetts, the movement for truth, freedom, and health. Look, I've been a student of politics since I was a 4-year-old kid, studying revolutionary movements, left wing, right wing. There's a physics, there's a nuclear science to destroying the establishment. To build a bridge, you need to understand Newton's equation. You need to understand the laws of gravity. You need to understand Poisson's ratio. There is a way to build a revolution, and that's why I put this together. My goal is to train an army of truth, freedom, and health leaders. We don't need followers like social media. We need leaders.
but they need training because the educational system does not teach them history, nothing. So in 3 hours, that's what I've started doing. That's the solution. We got to train people. First, with understanding what a system is. The second is understanding the interconnection between truth, freedom, and health. Freedom is the ability to move freely, communicate freely, right? Talk freely. Without freedom, you cannot convert ideas, hypothesis into truth, which is science. And without freedom, you can't really get to truth. And without truth, you make up fake problems and fake solutions, which means you destroy our health. And without health, which is the infrastructure of us and our body, you can't fight for freedom. Third concept is it has to be bottoms up. Working people, people who work uniting. And what the right wing has done is whenever you say working people unite, that must be communist. Meanwhile, they've let the Democrats run unions, which suppress workers. Completely corrupt. But when you look at the arc of American history, it's been when working people came up. We need to go local. Every solution I'm coming up with as a part of this movement, we're giving the science, which is the truth, and then we tell people what they can do on the ground. Like with election fraud, you don't need to wait for some lawyer. Our goal is to train people, Dave, to go local, to go local, to go local, fight locally. Forget lawyers, forget politicians, forget celebrities. You got to learn politics, and there is a science to it. They lock us down, we should be ready to shut them down. And the fourth part of this principle is a not so obvious establishment. So when you look at a system, there's always something that disturbs you from getting to your goal. Well, the biggest disturbance is a not so obvious establishment, which are those people who claim they're for you, on the left and the right. The Al Sharptons who tell black people I'm for you. The Tucker Carlsons. Do you think any true anti-establishment person will ever be on Fox or CNN? I don't think so. They both mislead working people back into the establishment. Without this solid understanding of political physics and theory, you're screwed. You're going to follow on the left wing, Bernie Sanders. Oh, he said something. Or Robert Kennedy. Scumbags. Or you're going to follow, some right-wing talk show host. They're not going to lead us to liberation. It's us. And that political physics, it's a nuclear science of change. Bottoms up. We have to organize to understand that there is people who talk a good game and then look at what they actually do, left and right. I'm sorry, Sean Hannity may say some good things, but I don't see the urgency in his voice to get something done. And it can only come when you weaponize yourself with the right knowledge. You need to be able to identify a rat. Christ didn't go after the Romans, right? It was the Pharisees and the Sadducees who screwed him up. His own quote unquote people. And that's where we're at. So these four concepts I've built into a curriculum. People can go to vashiva.com, and it's an educational program. We need to train people in political theory. You need to have physics, and I've created that curriculum. People need to get educated. We need to get educated fast. And within a half an hour, I can teach people. 2 years of MIT control systems, I teach people those concepts. Then I apply it, anyone can understand it. And then you say, oh, I got to build a bottoms-up movement. They have to get politically astute, and then they have to go locally and act, not sit there on social media. They have to act locally, defy locally, do civil obedience locally, but with knowledge on how to build a movement. The Senate campaign has expanded to the Movement for Truth, Freedom, and Health, and they can find it on V as in Victor, A, Shiva, vashiva.com, so people can sign in. They can get access to a bunch of videos. If they want to take a course and become a Truth, Freedom, Health leader, I offer a full scholarship there. But we want people to make a commitment that they'll study, that they'll get certified, that they'll go do activities on the ground. So go to VA Shiva, Victory America Shiva, vashiva.com.
All right, everyone. So in closing, we have our vaccine safety and immune health conference. It's the second one of its kind. You guys will learn a ton of material. It's like you're going to a packed, a buffet of knowledge. And these are the items that we'll be covering as I discussed. Again, and we'll go through the entire history of 2019 to here, what got us here. You will actually learn the ludicrousness of a one-size-fits-all model. And we're going to teach you an engineering systems approach to risk assessment. And then we're going to go through the modern science of the immune system. You'll leave with a deep understanding of the immune system. You'll understand the different aspects of immune health from medical professionals. and you'll hear the latest research on vaccine safety that we've just done. And then from an economic analysis, you're going to also understand, who are the winners and losers, who made money, who lost money. And many of us lost money. And then we'll understand what you can actually do. So this is what's coming up. I hope all of you come to it. And remember, all the ticket support goes right to doing all this great research we do at the International Center for Integrative Systems. Let me see if there's any other questions that are outstanding here. Someone is saying, let's see. Got to go down a lot more questions here. Someone says, join local. Someone says FDA likes corrupt physicians. Well, remember, a lot of these physicians are actually incompetent. They don't really learn the immune system. So again, we invite you to bring lots of doctors to this thing, because they're going to get educated. They have big egos, unfortunately, but you may find some doctors who want to listen. And even if they don't like us, right, or like the viewpoint of an alternative approach, it's time that they actually learn the science. So they're going to learn science from real scientists. So it's very important for them to attend. All right. Anything else? Shreya says, Dr. Shiva, can you share the video of this? I'm not sure what you mean, Shreya. Well, this video you can share with everyone and invite them to come to the event. Okay. To get tickets, go to vashiva.com. Exactly. You can get them right from there. All right. I think that's it. So I hope this is valuable. So you have a couple of action steps everyone can do. Go sign up for the event. And remember, you can come in. It's either in person or virtual, Saturday, October 29th, 10 a.m. EST to 2 p.m. EST. Okay? So mark that down. Again, you're more than welcome to come in here. After, when the conference ends, we're actually going to go out for lunch here in Cambridge. So if you guys are around, you can join me for lunch. All right, everyone, be well, be the light. And I look forward to all of you attending this event and supporting the ongoing research we do for vaccine safety and immune health from a systems approach. And I hope this was valuable as a preview to what's coming. Be well. Thank you.